Hello, my gorgeous ones. I hope you're doing well on this fine Thursday evening. I thought I would come on today and talk to you about a topic which I haven't really spoken much about on this platform or Instagram, and that is spirituality. Now, I believe fundamentally that when we are looking at our health and considering improving our health, we can't just look at body and mind, whacking myself in the nose there, which are kind of the two elements that I think most people look at. With body, we're looking at what we put in our body, what food, how is that food grown, the quality of our water, what we're drinking, what we're putting on our body, are they toxic, are they not, what's in our environment that could be affecting our body, are we exercising our body, are we keeping it strong? And then when it comes to the mind, what are we feeding our mind with on a daily basis? Are we kind of constantly looking at negative news stories? Are we doom scrolling and comparing ourselves on social media? Are we speaking kindly to ourselves? Are we kind of replacing negative thoughts with positive ones? Are we saying affirmations to ourselves? Are we doing meditation or breath work to kind of slow down the mind and kind of come back to the present? So I think we concentrate on those two a lot when it comes to our health. And I think a lot of people miss out on the third one, which is soul or spirit. And I think part of the reason we miss out on that third one is that a lot of us don't really know what it is. A lot of us are very confused by what it is. We're confused by what spirituality means. And I'm absolutely not going to come on here and try and define it for anybody, because I think it means different things to different people. But I thought I would come on and share what it means to me in case that resonated with you. So I would say I wasn't even really aware of spirituality probably until about 2021, so only about the past 4 years. And I've always thought that we are not the only things in this universe, that the universe is vast and we are one planet in one solar system, in one galaxy, goodness knows how many. There might even be multiple universes. Who knows? So we can't be the only life forms. I've never believed that for a second. So there's got to be something bigger, better, wider, more expansive, vaster than us. Otherwise, why would we just be here on this one tiny planet? That's never made any sense to me. And having this kind of sense that there is something else going on, there is something bigger than just me, gives me a deep sense of peace. It really does. And it's also, spirituality for me is also about connection, being connected to other humans, being connected to other souls on a soul level, being connected to nature, being connected to animals. And I think that's why we crave connection, which is getting so lost in the modern world, and why we crave nature and why we feel so good in nature, because I think we are all connected. I believe we're all stardust. Whenever there was the Big Bang, I believe we're all from the same thing, which is why we do feel a connection, or perhaps should feel a connection if we don't. And it wasn't really until recent years that I've had to really think about it. And I've shared this story before, I think in written form in one of my newsletters, but it became very apparent to me, this sense of connection, when I was going through a period of feeling really stuck in my life. So much was right. I have a wonderful husband, an amazing marriage. I have 2 fabulous children who I adore. We were living in a beautiful country where the sun shone abundantly. We had fantastic holidays. We have gorgeous friends. And yet I was still feeling really stuck and really lost. And I didn't know why. And I couldn't figure it out. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't get what my purpose was. I'd been a lawyer, then I had my own interior design business, and I was just feeling so lost. And as I say, I've shared this story before, but I took out my journal, which is nothing more than a notebook, and a pen, and I just started writing, and often it makes no sense, and you just write and write and write and write, and after a while I just scrawled and I almost broke the page with my pen. It came out so strongly. Just fucking move, I wrote. And consciously I'd not thought about that. We thought we were in Switzerland forever. We thought we were there for the long haul. You know, we absolutely loved living in Switzerland, but I was clearly missing like some sort of connection, and that was kind of the first, that journal writing was the first step to us moving back to England, which was kind of, it was like a 2-year process in the end, because, you know, there's lots to think about, lots to do. But I felt that deeply, and since moving back here, I have felt a much stronger sense of purpose and connection. And I'm not saying you have to be in your birth country to feel that. It's just, for me, something was off and I knew I needed to change something. My soul needed something different. And I felt so different since being back in England. So I just wanted to share that with you. Also, something that I believe is that our souls are kind of eternal. So I believe when I die, my soul will leave my body and will go elsewhere. It might go into a different human body. It might go into an animal. It might go to a different planet. It might go to a different dimension, a different system. But that is what I believe. And it kind of just brings me so much peace. So I want to share that with you. But the reason I came on here, the reason I wanted to share about spirituality with you is because yesterday my wonderful friend Suzanne Shaw came to my house. I'd never met her before in person. We've known each other, I don't know, maybe for a couple of years. We met through a mastermind. But Susie has been doing something called life force activations for quite a few months now. And it's essentially a form of energy medicine. It's kind of like a Kundalini awakening. And it's essentially raising your vibration. So Susie's able to tap into kind of a portal of light and then kind of share that with us, which all sounds incredibly woo-woo. And 5 years ago, you know, if somebody told me that, I'd be like, you are crazy. No, thank you very much. But they have had a profound effect on my life in a very short time. I don't know how long I've been doing them, maybe about 3 months, maybe a little bit longer. We normally do it online, and the sessions last an hour, and it's great. You just get to lie there. You don't have to do anything. You listen to some fabulous music while Susie and her kind of co-facilitator Octavia, who is also wonderful, an amazing lady, kind of facilitates the session, and like I say, kind of opens the portal, activates the kind of the light, the high vibrational light, and kind of shares that with us. And various things have happened like during those sessions, like the ones at the start, my body would involuntarily like move. It absolutely wasn't me doing it consciously. It would kind of move to try and displace certain of the energy. But because I do a few a month, as we've kind of gone on, that's kind of stopped a bit, and it's more, I just kind of get this pulsating sensation, like coming from my heart, like pulsating through my body. But I have profound insights and profound fresh perspectives on my life and what I should do about certain situations in my life, and I just get a really different viewpoint of looking at things. But yesterday I did an in-person one. Susie came to my house, which was so exciting. It was so lovely to meet her, and we had a gorgeous lunch to start off with, and then we went into the activation. And one of the things I'd said to her, which is also going to make me sound crazy, is that there are certain things that I've been feeling stuck in, like from a business point of view and from a life point of view. And I believe it stemmed from me not wanting to be seen for various reasons. And without getting too deep, when I did my year abroad many moons ago, I was attacked. And after one of the life force activations that I did last week, I realised that my eyesight went after my year abroad. And I was always told that I needed to start wearing glasses because I've been reading so much foreign text. But then I suddenly thought, maybe my diminished eyesight was actually linked to my attack. And when I was kind of like doing a bit of research into it, maybe it was me not wanting to see the world as it was, because I then saw it as an incredibly unsafe place because I had been compromised. And it's something that I'd never even considered before. And that was an insight that I'd had after the last activation. So I said to Susie when she came, I said, I think there's something to be cleared, something to do with the attack needs clearing. And, you know, I wasn't for a minute suggesting that was going to miraculously like improve my eyesight. But I said to her, I feel like there is still something. And trauma absolutely gets trapped in the body. That has been proven. It can get trapped in all sorts of different places. There's an amazing book called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Keek. No, got the book down there somewhere. It's an amazing book, and that was the first time I read that 4 or 5 years ago. That was the first time I realised that trauma can get trapped in the body. So it's something that I wanted Susie to work on. And like we were in the session, and normally I don't feel any pain at all, and all of a sudden Susie said, may I touch your stomach? And she touched it really lightly, and instantly this massive kind of ball, maybe about this big, of pain came inside my kind of womb area, if you like. And it started to move around, and I was like, this ball of pain like needs to come out. And then all of a sudden it was just gone, and I felt like something energetically had left my body. And you know, that was an experience I had. That wasn't something I imagined. So I'm sharing all this just to say I genuinely believe there is more than just what you can see with your eyes. And that to me is what kind of spirituality and soul is. It's about believing in things that you can't necessarily see. And the more I kind of get into this work, and particularly energy work and energy healing, the more peace it brings me. So I just wanted to share that. And I just wanted to, if it's something that you've never even thought about before, is just to open your mind to this kind of third part of the triangle. You know, the body, mind and soul triangle. And what are you doing for your soul? What are you doing to connect to others? Have you figured out what your purpose is? Have you figured out, you know, why you've chosen to come to this earth, why you chose your parents, why you chose to come here? And if not, those are questions you might want to start asking yourself. So a bit of a different video today, but yeah, I'm just feeling in a very floaty place today after the wonderful life force activation. If that is something you are interested in, please do contact Suzanne Shaw or Octavia Christina. I'll see if I can kind of link it down here. They are magical. Yeah, wishing you all a beautiful Thursday.